Yeah, how's it going, man? Not a new streamer, but I probably will be pretty quiet today. We'll see. So what I plan on doing today is you trolling, bro? Or Nung live? Let me know when you're done. Alright, let's see what we got here. I'm thinking I'm either going to create some new inputs, or maybe we should keep the same ones. Alright, buddy. I'm probably going to block you from Restream just so I don't have to see this. Sorry. Alright. I'll give you a warning. Not that I don't want to act like I don't appreciate you, but it's all caps and, you know. I just want to relax, man. Alrighty, thank you. Appreciate it, man. Alright. So we have analog left, analog right. I don't think we really use that at all. We usually just use UI left and UI right. Well, yeah. I guess it just depends on the language. I used to use Java and C++. Those were like my only languages. But switching to Python, or using Python and GDScript, it's kind of nice. I've learned. I guess usually your favorite language is the one that you're using the most at the moment. So right now it's GDScript. So the syntax of GDScript I actually like right now. I'm sure if I went back to brackets or using another language that used brackets, I'd probably prefer that. But honestly, I don't know, because I do like the organization of it. It makes sense to me, you know. With brackets, it could sometimes get confusing, like where everything is. But you could say the same thing about tabs. Let's see. Alright, UI select. I'm thinking either we keep UI select and UI up, down, left, all that stuff. But what we could do, I'm trying to think. Let's make a new one. Fuck it. We'll call it, okay, let's do, I think we'll have up. And I think it'll be in all caps, maybe. Everything that the player uses, maybe, or for in-game stuff, we'll keep in all caps. It's an option. Let's see. Yeah, let's do it. So we have up, down, left, right. There's dash, and then there's activate, but dash, it's the same thing. So I'm wondering. We'll keep it as dash for now. Actually no, we'll call it activate. Activate, climb, and jump. Those are the only inputs that we need from our game. Cool. Let's go back into our ini file. So right now we have this all saved in test. I think we should start moving it. It doesn't matter. We'll leave it there for now. Let's go into test nodes. Let me share my window really quick. All right, I'll see you, Ornang. All right, let's do this. We can probably, let's do this. We'll say this will be UI keybinds, and this will be gameplay keybinds. And we're gonna have multiple, I think we're gonna have multiple versions of these. I'm not entirely sure how we're gonna go about it, but let's just first handle, I guess, computer keyboard inputs. So that's, we called it up, down, left, right, activate, jump, and what was the final one? Climb. All right. Alrighty. And we'll call, let's just set a random number for this. Once we set up, and we'll just do 65 for now. And once we run this once, it'll save over. Alrighty. So let's run our menu. And these are all gone. Let me see what's going on. Probably because we have nothing saved here? Let me see. Or is it because we have a space here? Oh, because we have it saved as gameplay keybinds now. So let's go back into our menu. No, it's in our global here. So our section is gameplay keybinds. There we go. Can't see anything just yet. I'm gonna push this over a bit. Ideally, what I think we should do is actually create a custom button for all of these instead of creating a new button altogether. We just might do that right now. So let's go. We're gonna go into UI, and we're gonna move all of these to UI as well. So let me just look at our file manager here. And UI, and let's do, we have option elements, player UI, notifications. I think we're just going to create a new one altogether, and we're going to call it keybinds. Well, this is actually for everything, I guess. Technically, we have option elements too, but we're just going to throw it all in here. So for our keybinds, let's make a new button, and let's throw global key button and menu. Move to UI keybinds. Alrighty, there we go. We're gonna, I think we have to, I know Godot sometimes updates the location of things, but I don't think it's gonna do it here. So yeah, test nodes, we gotta make sure that it's grabbing the right thing. So key buttons.gd, let's grab this path. I think what we could do is just erase this. And just throw that in there. But actually what we're going to do is actually, instead of saying, instead of loading up this like script, we're actually just going to make another onReady var, or yeah, a var that preloads a key button that's already set up for us. That way we don't have to do all of this like via code. And let's look at our global really quick, because we need to update this right here. It's going to be copy path, and let's remove this right there. Keybindings, ini. There we go. And for the menu, let's also do that. And maybe let's rename this to keyboard bindings. Instead of menu. And I'm actually going to name it Keybindings menu, or keyboard bindings UI. There we go. And then the file path is UI. All right, so yeah, it should run the same as it did before, but failed to load resource test nodes keybindings menu.gd. So our script is incorrect here, I believe. Wait, here. Let me reload this project. Oh, we made Keybindings UI. Let's run this again. See what happens. We did crash. Config file not found. That's in our global. Oh, what the hell? Oh, we didn't move our config file. Let's go back into test nodes, test key bindings. Let's cut this, put it back in UI. There we go. So these are all our buttons, and for now, when we're placing it, let's go into the script. We'll say plus, just say plus 200. Maybe that should be good enough. Let's do 100. All right, so we have up, down, left, right, activate, climb, and jump. So for now, let's just do W, S, A, D. Activate is, really depends. We're going to have an input 1 and an input 2. But for now, let's say Z. Wait, no. We can't do left click. That's going to have to figure out what to do there. Let's see. If you're using WASD, you're going to do J. Maybe you want your jump to be. Let me think about this. J jump. Okay. Yeah, I think dash should be J, and then our jump will be K, and our climb will be L. And we'll save this. So if we go back into our ini file, Let me close this. Back to our keybinds. If we open this, it didn't seem to save, actually. It still says 65, 65, 65. I wonder why. Let's look at our project settings. Oh, we probably didn't save it correctly. Let's go back into global and write config. Set value in keybinds. Let's look at this. Yeah, we set it back to keybinds. So we want to make sure that we're putting it back into gameplay keybinds. And we'll also want to say get value of key for keybinds. There we go. So now let's run it one more time. And right now it says A for everything. We'll say W, S. Oh, what happened here? Oh, because we're already using A. Let's do this. We got to make sure we're not using the same values. W, A, D, activate is J, K, and L. Save it. Now go back here, close this, run it again. Open with our notepad, and yeah, you can see we have the new updated gameplay key bindings. Now, for our keyboard, we're also going to want to make sure that we're updating. We want a second input, so we're going to do that right now. How we're going to do that is, I think, maybe we should rename this to keybinds input 1 and then keybinds input 2. But the thing is, it's still going to update these values here. But when we go into the key bindings, it'll update. I think it should update it appropriately. So let's do this. Let's actually name it keyboard binds 1, or see, keyboard input 1, and then let's do keyboard input 2. And for now, let's just set all of these values to 0. Alrighty. Let's close that. And in... So I think before we do anything, we're going to make this its own scene, or we're going to make a button scene. So let's do that really quick. This is going to be a button. And I guess we could add a theme to it as well. Oops, clear that. Let's grab our default theme. It's going to be like that. And let's just test this out. Let's say it's A. A. And I think we want to capitalize this. So let's go into UI again. Is it keybinds? Yeah, keybinds. And we'll say this is keybind button. Alrighty. Trying to think. Strange. Oh yeah, because we renamed it. Okay, so down here, in our global, let's go here, and instead of calling it keybinds, we'll do keyboard input 1. All right. So yeah, we get all these buttons back, and honestly, it does look a little weird, but that's okay. And I think what we'll do, maybe we should make a node for each of these, because we could also just add the label right here to this button and have it manipulate there. So we push this label like that. I think we're going to get rid of the theme on this label. It's weird. I guess when you add a theme to a parent, it just does it for like all children. I didn't know that. Maybe that's why everything looks. That would make sense. So we could actually maybe remove the theme here. Let me see. Clear. We can clear that. Let's call this just test label. And what we'll do in our Keybindings UI, the only issue is that we're using a 2D node. I guess we can change this to control and change this to control. And in our control, we'll just add the default theme. It makes a lot more sense. Oh, whoa. All right, so it's going to be a little crazy. But right now, we're actually bound to this camera that we added. So let's just remove that. Let's see. All right, so it's all over the place right now. But what we'll do is current position plus equals, let's say 100. Or actually 150. Let's see how that looks. Okay, that looks a little better. And then we'll push the labels a bit. Push the labels by, say, 200. Alrighty, and let's move our button, our save button. You could save right there. So yeah, this is what it currently looks like. We have jump, climb, activate. Yeah, everything here. It does look strange though. I think our theme is kind of weird for this type of input. I think what for now we'll do is make this flat. We'll also we'll do an override on the style here. Just say empty. There we go. If we run it again. That's weird. Okay, so, because we never actually added the buttons. That's why we're creating a new button. So what we'll do here is we're gonna preload keybind button. Say var keybind button path is equal to preload, and it's going to be keybind button like that. And over here in our button, we're just going to say var button is equal to keybind button path dot instance. And we can get rid of the label for now. What we'll do instead is we'll grab the button's label. So we'll say, well, first, let's grab a script, add it to our keybind button, and we'll just say onReadyVar label is equal to label. And honestly, maybe we don't even need a reference to it because we could just say dot get child 0. It's the same thing. We'll leave it like this for now. So we'll say button.label.text is equal to key. And then same for this label here, button.label. And then add child, we can get rid of this. And I don't know what the H box is for. Let me see. What happens if we just remove that? Button.label.text. What's going on here? So we've instanced it, and it's saying base text nil. Does it happen in like? Let's try this. No, it shouldn't. Button. Let's see. Yeah, it says it's null right now. Unready var label. Maybe, I guess when you instance, the ready function doesn't run right away. We could do this after we add it as a child. So maybe we'll say add child button now. Doesn't really matter when we do it. And then button.label.rect position. Saying label.rect global position is, well, we don't actually need to set up the label position. Let me see. All right, so yeah, we got it to work. Yeah, it does work. Okay. And if I were to say this is 1, but 1 is not working. Oh, but you know what? See something. When do we add our key button script? Let's see. Button.text is equal to key. Button value. Oh, we have 2 buttons being added. Maybe that's why. Nope, that's not why. Button.text is equal to that. Strange. If we were to do, let's see. Button dot new. I mean, we could keep it like this, but I just don't know why it didn't work before. Did add button. Get rid of this. Alrighty. All right, we might just leave it the way it is for now. No worries. Let me see here. Damn, this theme is ugly though. We might make like a new, like a Keybindings theme. And then let me think about this. In our current theme, we can make this unique. Oh no, make unique. And what we're gonna do is, let me see here. We could probably keep the label there. But we do need to fit like all of this inside of our instead of our UI, because we're gonna want to input 1 and then we're gonna want to have input 2 right there. So let's do this. For now, I'm just gonna add a label. Damn. This is huge. Oh, okay. It's because of our camera. Let's get rid of our camera. Maybe put this in the center here and we'll say input 1. Input 2. Two, three, 4. All right, so in our Keybindings menu, I'm going to want to grab the position of input 1, set it there, and then grab the position of input 2 and set the next buttons there. So if we go back into our script here, well, first we're iterating through. We have to like match input 1 to where we're placing our buttons. So let's see where that's being done. For key. So right now we're iterating through our keybinds, and we're just saying our keybinds is in our global. Right now we're grabbing just all of our key bindings, or not all of our key bindings, but key bindings that are set based on this right here. So what we should do is create two strings, or actually we could create multiple. So we'll have key binds. We'll say key binds input one, key binds input two. I'm also going to have a var gamepad input is equal to this, and then I think we're going to want to have another variable, a couple of more variables, and these variables are going to say var use mouse, say gameplay mouse input is equal to false. Actually, well, yeah, we'll say it's false for now. And then var gameplay we'll say player relative, gameplay mouse player relative, or player mouse centered. We'll say we'll do that. Player gameplay mouse. All right, so this is basically all of the key bindings information that you can manipulate in your game, in Afterlife. So right over here, when we're checking for keyboard input one, instead of saying keybinds, we're going to say keybinds input one. And for key in keybinds one, so currently this is only for keybinds one, but we're going to want to do keybinds two. Do we want to iterate through all of these every single time? What we should do is maybe like write a config that like checks which one we're updating. For now, because I think I'm lazy, I'm probably just going to handle every single case, because I mean, we don't have too many. We just have keyboard input one, input two. We might even get rid of UI key bindings, and then we need a eventually we're going to need a gamepad key bindings, but let's just do these two for now. And then maybe we'll include mouse key bindings as well, or mouse input. So let's do that. So yeah, maybe we should have a mouse input thing as well. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. Okay. So if we go back into this. So keybinds right here. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to have keybinds input one and var keybinds input two. That should be it. Let me just make sure. Keybinds. So if you change this to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, save it, go back into our thingy here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yep. So keyboard input 1 is updated. Now we need to make sure we can do the same thing with keyboard input 2. And what we're basically going to do when we in our ready function, we're going to add all of these buttons, but we're going to grab the, I don't know if we should match this. We might want to create like a function when we're doing this, instead of putting it all in the ready function. Yeah, we'll do that. So I'll do func keybind add keybind buttons, and we'll say input type. And what we'll do is we'll cut all of this, put it in here. And we'll do add keybind buttons of whichever one we're doing right now. So I guess right now we're doing keybinds input 1. So we'll just throw this in there. We'll just throw like a regular string in there. And then over here, we'll just say match input type, or we should call it keybinds type. And for each of these, for each of these types, we're going to want to update the current position. So we'll add this variable first, right up here. But we'll say, let's cut this. Oops. And we'll say var current position, or current position, is equal to, for now, let's rename this to input 1. Oops. Input 1 is equal to, actually, current position is equal to input 1 dot global, or we could just say dot position. Dot position plus vector 2 of 0, and we'll do maybe 100. Give it a little bit. Actually, it'll do 50. All right, so it should work the same way, unless we get a bug here. Input 1 dot position. Yeah, we actually can't grab the position of this object. Wait, let me see. Is there a transform? We want to grab our rect position. So dot rect position. There we go. There we go. So it does look a little weird right now, but we will update that pretty soon. We just need to fix the gap between these. So right now it's 150. We'll set it to maybe 100, maybe even 50. Let's see how that looks. Ooh, 50 is too small. That's a little better. We can maybe do 120 and also increase the gap here to 200. So something like that. I think we're gonna get rid of the theme for these labels here because they kind of look crappy. So what we'll do for that, for our key bindings menu, let's just make this unique. Edit this, and for our labels here, let's just delete this. Create a new one, call it empty. And there we go. Also, it's a little strange because, I mean, the global position of it, I think is correct, but they're like, you might see that it's all the way up here. And I think what we could do is in our theme, I haven't messed with the theme too much, but I think there's an option maybe to, let's see, font. There's a line spacing, a shadow effect, font color. Let me see, new style box flat. You know, it would be so much easier if we were able to actually make this our base object. I just don't know. I don't know why onReady var doesn't work properly. It should work properly. Yeah, it is printing our label. Whatever, we'll ignore it for now. It's not too big of a deal. We could always mess with the positioning of the labels later. It's like bound. Let me see something. V-align, center. Oh yeah, we could set V-align to center. Similar to our, by default, our button V-align is set to the center, but here it's not. So yeah, we could just say label dot V line is equal to label dot V-align center. And didn't seem like it worked. But this is like the, I guess, the bounds. So the label is really small and it's set to the upper left-hand corner. I think once we make our official theme, it should fix itself. For now, we'll leave it the way it is. Let me see. It's not the worst thing in the world. Maybe. Yeah, let's do this. Go back into theme. Yeah, whatever. Let's leave it. Now we want to make sure that we're able to add input 2. So input 2, we'll just do add keybind buttons of keybinds input 2. And the way this is going to work is we need to basically make sure that we're actually grabbing keybinds type here. So in this function, wherever it says keybinds input 1, we're going to replace with keybinds type. Actually, wait. Let's make sure. It's a string, which is not correct. We're going to want to do .get that string. So, and it's also we're also gonna want to make sure. Wait, let me think here. I mean, what we could theoretically do is create a a temporary variable and then put it back into our key bindings. I think that might make the most sense right now. It'd be quicker, I think. Let's do it. Yeah. Okay. So we'll say keybinds and then what we're going to do is create a var temp keybinds. And we can just do that. We'll say temp keybinds. It's equal to get this keybinds type. So global.get keybinds type.duplicate. And that's the only time I think we're ever going to have to grab this global variable until we export. Do we actually? Actually, we don't even export here, so we'll be fine for this entire function. So temp keybinds in here. Oh, temp right there. All right. And then what we want to make sure of is after we create these temp keybinds, we're going to do, I guess we could just do another match statement just to save ourselves some time. We'll just do match. We'll actually just copy this over here. And we'll just say, if it's 1, we'll say keybinds 1. Is equal to temp. Alrighty. I think that should be it, I hope. We might crash it though. Alright, so button value keybinds input 1. This should be temp keybinds. Let me just make sure there's nothing else. Alright, yeah, so we get the same buttons, but input 2 doesn't work yet, and that's because we haven't made any keys, or we haven't accessed these keys just yet. So if we go back into our global, let's see. For keys in this, we're going to say, let's get rid of this. We're just going to just duplicate this loop. But this will be keyboard input 2, keyboard input 2, 2, 2. And that's it. And we're going to want to do the same thing for keybinds 2, but we'll do that later because we're going to want to put some inputs or some arguments in there. So let's run it again. And you can see we have access to it, but there are buttons there, but yeah, there's no, we haven't, I actually wonder why it hasn't added those buttons. Let's see what's going on there. Maybe we never did anything. We never added to our config file. It says 0 for all of them. It should work. What I'm going to do, just in case, is I'm just going to copy and paste. It's the same exact thing. There we go. So if I set this to 2, well, let's close this. Let's set this to 8 and save it. And let's see if that's saved to our it won't save to our config file actually, because we didn't code that just yet. But it doesn't crash, so that's a good sign. What we are going to do is after all of this is done, on our button script, we need to make sure we're saving. So yeah, right now we're saying keybinds input 1 is equal to keybinds input 1 dot duplicate, but we're going to want to save everything. So we're going to want to iterate through our keybinds 1, keybinds 2, our buttons, and et cetera, et cetera. For now, on button pressed, let's go into our button script. Key button, right over here. So we actually don't do anything here. It's all done in our menu. That's good. Good. So yeah, for change bind, right now we're only manipulating keybind input. So I think what we'll do, where do we run change bind? We don't run it here. Is it in our global? Let's see here. Oh, I think we do it in our button, actually. I should keep that. Let me clear. Close all. So we have our menu, we have our global, we have our keybind button, and then we have our key button. Okay, so in our key button, yeah, we do menu.changeBind, and then yeah, that's all it does. But I think what we're gonna want to do is, let me think. Right now it just says change bind, so we do want to add maybe some information to each of these buttons, saying like what's its like parent node, or like not what its parent node is, but like just associate it with what key binding it's supposed to be for. And that's probably one of the main reasons why I wanted to create a custom button, but we could still do it here. Basically what we would do when we add the script is we'll just say, for our key button, we'll say var keybindings keybind. We'll just say keybind type, and for now we'll just leave it like that. And then in our menu here, we'll just say right over here, we'll say button dot. We're going to want to put it in our match statement, actually. So we should have done this. We're iterating through each of our buttons, so maybe we should have a match statement for each of these. I'm trying to think. I mean, yeah, we could just throw a match statement in this for loop. It's kind of unnecessary to have all of these match statements, but you know what I really want to do? I actually really want to create a custom scene. That's just the way I work. Like, it's usually how I do things. Let me think about this. But it's not the worst thing in the world. Now let's try. The original issue that we had with adding a preloaded scene was that once we instanced it, we weren't able to grab its label here. I mean, we could leave maybe we could leave the label alone. But it's weird that we were able to grab all of these like values here, like flat, key, and stuff like that. I think. Wait, let me just see something. I know there's an init function, and I think Godot init versus ready. When its children are ready. So maybe if we did label, no, I don't think this would work. Maybe we could just leave the label alone. Like, we can actually just have the button exist on its own without a label. And what we'll do here is, let's just get rid of all of this. We already have the keybind script, so I'm gonna copy all of this and put it in our keybind here. And then over here, instead of saying button is equal to button.new, we'll say button is equal to keybind button path dot instance. All right, let's try that. See if that did anything. And we want to make sure that we remove the script here. Where do we add the script? Button.setScript. Let's get rid of this for now. Run it again. All right, so yeah, it's the same exact thing, and we do get this test label added to it because I think we didn't delete the child label. Let's get rid of that. Okay. So yeah, it's the same exact thing, but now for our keybind type, what we'll do here, maybe we'll set the keybind type over. We can grab a group. We could set all of these to a group. That might not be a bad idea. Or we can make our match statement a little bit more organized. And we could put it here. I don't know if it's kind of ugly, but let's do it. And then over here, we'll just say button dot, what is it, input type? What do we call it? Or keybind type. So button.keybind type is equal to keybinds1. Same here. Physics process. What did we do? We put a physics process here. This is in our for. Let me copy this. Let's see what we did. There we go. Keybinds type is equal to, okay. And then over here in change bind, what we're going to do is include keybind type. So similar to what we put in this, we'll say keybind type. And then over here in this, when we change the bind, we'll say keybind type. There we go. And then for each of these, right now we're setting keybinds input. What I think we'll do is we're gonna have a match statement. And actually, we don't need a match statement. We would just say get this value here, get keybinds.type or get keybinds type at key is equal to value. Same for all of these. I'll be surprised if we don't find a bug here. All right, and then for saving, we're gonna want to save all of these. So we'll do global. Well, actually, this is fine. We're gonna want to duplicate this, and we'll say keybinds 2 and 2. But for set game binds and write config, we're also gonna want to update these global scripts. It sucks that we have to do all of these things before we can actually run it. But yeah, let's look at set game binds and write config. So in our global set game, where was it? Yeah, right over here. For key and keybinds, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm kind of lazy. Just gonna iterate through each of these. We'll say iterate through this one, and then same for this one. We're going to grab this one and do this. But for this one, we're just going to set all of these to 2. Alrighty, I think that's it. I'm hoping that is all we have to do. There's a lot going on in this, but hopefully it works. So let's change this to 8. Let's save it. Whoa. Okay, so down is 9. This one's 8. Let's set this one back to 1. Save it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 9, 3. Okay. So save it. Close it. Actually, I don't know what these values are. I'm just making. I actually won't know until I know what these exact values are. So, whoops. Let's go into our keybinds again. Look at our config file, and yeah, I don't really know what these values are. Let me think about this. Well, we know here. Let's do this again. Let's run it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So for input 1, these values are 49, 50. So we start at 49, 50. So right now, all of these are a little weird. So let's, we know we start at 49. So let's make sure that these go to 49. And what I'll do is run this again. We'll just say this is A, S, D, F, G, H, J. We'll set these to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Save it. And then Open with Notepad. We'll see these started out with 49. This is 65, 83. I'm pretty sure these values are correct, but if we open it up again, we'll see if we did get it correct, and you'll see that these are all back to those normal values, and so are these. So yeah, we got it running. I guess the next thing to do is to add some even more customization. I mean, this UI looks like crap. Like, we could definitely make this look prettier, but it does work. What I think I'll do for now is, let's make this UI look prettier. It's hard to be proud of this unless it looks good. So let's go into our label here. Let me see. We're using here. What I'm gonna do instead is we're gonna clear this theme and we're gonna add the theme again. Let me see what we did wrong originally. All right, so these themes are looks terrible, but it does do the job. What would be cool, I guess, is if we had. Let me think here. First thing I think I want to do is update this. W-A-D-A-D. Activate was what? What, we used that already. Yeah, we also got to make sure that it's not being used, because if it's used, we crash. Get keybinds type. Set value index nil of type nil. Not sure why it does that, actually. I mean, what we could do is say if k does not equal key, for k in key binds type dot keys. Not sure, actually. We do need to make some sort of check. I probably won't do that tonight. There's still so much left to do. Let me see. If you set this to A, invalid set index value. I don't know why this happens. Let's print out these keys. Well, it's saying it's a nil, but let's try. So if we change this to A, what happens here? We get keybinds input 1 down and then 65. Wait, let me run that one more time. Keybinds input 1 down 65. Keybinds type at K. K is down. Wait, that's our value. No, our value is 65. But 65 is wrong. That's 65. It's strange. 65 is actually the key, like the scan key value, I'm pretty sure. But we're trying to grab at this point, I don't even know. It works for everything. Except, yeah, only when we do duplicates of something. Let me try on this side. On the left side, it's fine. But yeah, once we duplicate it once, it like bugs out on us. Probably, let me see. K does not equal key and value does not equal null and keybinds. Wait, and get. Seems like we don't have to put value. Because right here we're saying and keybinds type at this node here is equal to value, but I don't know if I erase this might screw us up. Let's do this. Keybinds K is equal to null. What we could do is before we we could iterate through each of our buttons, check if the button's already pressed, and if it's not already pressed, I guess to like avoid this, we can just say like, hey, this button's already in use, because I'm not entirely sure why it's crashing. Well, it's saying. Yeah, let me see something. keybind type. This was happening earlier with even when we didn't have keybind type. What is var key? Am I trying to solve for duplicate values? Can you remove and reassign similar to how it works for other games? So what I'm trying to do, technically, theoretically, it should be possible to add duplicate keys. I should have a check that does remove duplicate keys. Like you can't have down and up be the same key, but the code should allow it to happen. Even though I don't want it to happen right now, like in the final polished version, I don't want it to happen. Right now, it should happen, but it doesn't, and it's saying it's because this type doesn't exist. So yeah, that's the confusing part. But what we could do is, before we add these buttons, what I will do, like we could basically just check for it. Is basically iterate through the buttons that we have right now, iterate through the keys, and make sure that key doesn't already exist. And if it does exist, we'll just add a notification that says, hey, not to make this value null, and don't run this if statement right here. Basically, we would just add to this, like basically end button is not used. Something like that, you know? Whoops. Yeah. But for me to do that, I'm going to have to like loop through each of our keys and basically say, for k and keybinds.keys, yeah, this loop just needs to be fixed. If k does not equal key, k and keybinds.keys. Let me print this one more time. So let's say we wanted to change this to 1. K is equal to up, down, left, right. Okay. In our if statement, let's print out each of these values. So our keybinds type dot value doesn't seem to print anything right now. Let me see. Well, this is technically value here. Honestly, I'm thinking maybe we could just get rid of this. Maybe that was the issue. Let me try this. That value doesn't make sense here anyway. So if we set this to A, dot text get keybinds dot k is equal to unassigned. I think we're iterating through the wrong thing, maybe. So our buttons typically are they're dictionaries here. Yeah, let's get rid of this. Oh, there we go. So yeah, I guess maybe before we switch this type, maybe we were grabbing the button instead of the bind. Yeah, we were grabbing the button apparently. But yeah, it does update correctly now. So if I were to change all of these to 1, 2, or say 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, save it here. Hey, how's it going, Zamfi? Let's look at our config file again. And right now it's actually set to nothing when we set it to 1. Let me try this again. So it says these are all undefined. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Save it. Run it again. So yeah, it saves correctly here. If we did 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and saved it, sets them all to unassigned. If we look at our keybinds config again, yeah, it messes us up here. So our keys, if k does not equal if k does not equal key, let me try this. Let's run this one more time. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Save it. Run it again. Should save properly. But then let's set this one to 1. Save it. Run it again. The original one gets unassigned. Okay. So I guess we can only have one key per thing. Oh, so okay, so what we should do is basically not allow this to happen. Let me see something. Okay, there we go. So yeah, there's just this if statement was just wrong here. what we should have done, or what we should do, is 4K and keys. We should have a better way of checking for this. What we should do instead is, if there is a matching statement, we should put a notification that says, hey, this button's already in use, or say, hey, you can't do that, something like that. For now, I'm not going to deal with that. I'd rather leave it the way it is for now, just because this way it works and it prevents any crashes from happening. I don't want to add any notifications just yet. So technically, we can have all of these be 1, and your game is just going to bug out if you leave it like this. Like, you won't move, but that's fine. And then we should have another button that allows us to like reset each of these values. So maybe I won't do that today, but yeah, we should inner config. We should have like keyboard input 1 default, keyboard input 2 default, and then if they press reset, it'll set those values. But yeah, for now, let's do this. I'm gonna erase all of this. Alrighty. So yeah, we could leave this the way it is. So we got our keyboard bindings set up. Now we have to add 2 more buttons, or like 2 more toggle buttons, and what those buttons are going to be is for mouse input. So I think what I'm going to do here is put this input maybe like that, and I'll put the second input right here. And then we'll create another input 3, but this one is going to say mouse. These might be a little too close together. Yeah, we'll fix the way it looks eventually. But yeah, let's add 2 buttons here, and I think we could just do this. This will be its own scene. I think we already have a toggle button that just needs to be manipulated. Checkbox. We do have a checkbox scene. Let me just see what this does. This is specifically for display stats. We should make something more generic, but I think what we're going to do is in the Keybindings UI, we're just going to add checkbox. This makes our life easier. Just say test. And why are these checkboxes so small? We're going to have to update the theme for this as well. For now, we'll leave it the way it is. We'll say enable mouse. Actually, we don't have to say enable because it's already should be implied. And then we'll do one more, and this will be center mouse. So yeah, those are going to be our 2 input types for our mouse. Basically, oh, and we should... I'm trying to think here. I still haven't made the code for center mouse, or not for center mouse, for making our mouse relative to our dash input relative to the player's global position rather than centering, or relative to the center of the screen. I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. I think we're going to handle all keyboard and mouse input tomorrow. So I'll save this for tomorrow. but it should work the way. Basically, all we're gonna do for mouse input when it's checked is show that like little arrow that follows the player. Yeah, that's basically our entire keyboard bindings. And then also, I still haven't updated. Technically, this doesn't work just yet. Up, down, left, right. These are all new actions that I added to the game. So they just don't have the correct reference. But eventually, what we're going to do is when we start up the game, it's going to grab that config file and replace like all of the saved values in here. And we also want to make sure that everything is consistent. So like we're still going to keep UI input and UI. All of the UI input is going to stay the same, but the gameplay input is the one that's going to change. You guys can't see that, but that's right here. But yeah, we made some progress. I don't like the way the UI looks, but it serves its purpose. Maybe I'll look up later tonight. I'll look up a better UI for this specific thing, because I think the main scene, like our escape menu, looks good. I think it looks good. Yeah, this is fine the way it is. Whoa. Did we just crash? What is this? This is our UI is in our global scene right now. I've never seen that. I don't know if that's a bug or... Let me see here. That must have been a bug. Whoa. Let me look at our global. Our settings menu, we're adding this almost immediately. This shouldn't be. Oh yeah, we're adding it to our game immediately. We don't want to do it. For now it's fine, but it's because we're pressing the escape key here. So yeah, eventually we'll fix this, but yeah, because we're pressing the escape key, we're adding the settings as an instance. We'll fix that. But yeah, that's it for today. I'm gonna call it a night. I'll see you guys tomorrow, probably. Peace.